Did you know that the 5 sets of jingles on your tambourine represent the 5 phases of the moon? Layne Redmond taught us that they represent birth, growth, fruition, dissolution, and death. Hi, I'm Barbara Gail from the Rhythm Inlet, Women, Rhythm and Ritual, Drum Rise, the Art of Women's Drumming, Moonrise, Daughters of an Ancient Pulse. Did I leave anything out? Oh, and the Tambourine Path. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I wanted to check in with you on this time of the new moon because several astrologers who I follow several, truth out, suggest that when it's the dark night of the new moon, that's not the time to set your intentions and make your new moon wishes, but rather to wait until there's a slight sliver of the moon in the sky. Now, it's really up to you. A lot of us like to plant those seeds of intention in the dark, just like seeds that are being planted underground, right? It's dark under there. Others of us like to have a little bit of light because the light reflects. So when there's the crescent moon setting at the end of the day, which where I am on the east coast of the US, that's actually tonight. So depending on where you are in the world and what feels right for you, what resonates for you, to set those intentions and to create a little bit of ritual in our lives. And I'd like to take these jingles as the phases of the moon and bring them into ritual. And some of you may be saying, why and how can I possibly be doing ritual on my drum right now when there is so much going on in the world, where there is suffering and there is pain and there's confusion and doubt, and there's a lot going on right now, yes? And we've all been feeling that for a couple of years now, individually and collectively. And I believe that drumming helps to alchemize the intensity and the density of those energies individually in our own lives and collectively in the world. And that when we pour our hopes and our dreams and our love and our desire for peace into our drumming, and then allow the resonance of the drum to alchemize those energies and flow out into the world lighter and brighter, then we are sending out all of that into the megaverse. So ritual creates meaning in our lives, and if now, as good a time as any, we need to have a sense of meaning in our lives. Am I right about that? So let's take this Layne Redmond teaching. She didn't say what to do with it, right? So you have these 5 phases of the moon, and some of you may even have a tambourine with more than 5 sets of jingles, and we can work with that too. You can choose 5 of your 8 sets or however many sets of jingles you have. So when Layne said birth, growth, fruition, dissolution, and death, I interpret that to mean birth, the new moon, that tiny sliver of a crescent in the sky at the very end of the day on the western horizon as the sun is setting. Growth, that waxing moon as it's growing, and you can watch it night by night, day by day grow, yes? And then of course fruition, being the full moon, yeah? And that peak of all of our intentions that we had set at the new moon. Disillusion meaning it's dissolving, it's waning, and we can watch that happening in the sky as well. So the energies are diminishing, and we're seeing the other side of the peak of our intentions coming to fruition. And then death, meaning that there's really no moon in the sky at all, which is, I think, for 3 nights. So there's just no light in the sky. And so it's a very quiet inner time. Yes? So how would we bring this into ritual? Layne didn't teach anything, at least I never learned anything from her that was a teaching around what to do with this information. So here's what I have done and what I can suggest for you. You can pay attention to where the moon is anytime you want to sit down with your tambourine. What's going on with the moon right now? Where is it in its cycle? And you can Google it to find out where, what's going on in your location as far as moonrise and moonset times, and you can find out, what phase it's in during this moon cycle. And then you can determine where the top of your drum is. If it's a Remo and it has this queen's crown, I like to think of it as a queen's crown, you can put that at the top of your drum. And if you don't have a drum with the Remo insignia, such as this large tambourine, choose what feels like the top of your moon, okay? Where on this drum, maybe that dark area feels like the top of the drum, or maybe that feels like the bottom of your drum. So you can decide for yourself where it might be for you. Then you know what the 5 phases of the moon are. And let's say right now we are in that very dark night of the moon, so I could hold my drum, my holding or balancing hand could move to this area of the drum. And so now I've set an intention that I'm actually going to balance my drum from that phase of the moon. Or if it's a full moon time, I might choose to hold it from the place of fruition. So I've turned my drum on its head. Or you could simply hold it where you like to hold it and know that you can bring some intention, some focus to that area of the drum as you are dreaming and scheming, and if you are someone who likes to pray, you can pour your prayers, your thoughts, your good intentions into that area of the drum head. And it's as simple as that. Just tuning into the phase of the moon as it is in the sky and choosing the jingle and how you'd want to work with that, whether just visually and intentionally or by actually turning the drum and holding it on that particular jingle. And another way, a second way that you could actually use this information, I feel, is to take whatever situation is going on in your life. Perhaps you are in a cycle that is a creative cycle, or a process of moving or ending a relationship or beginning a relationship, or you are, like I used the example of a creative process. Let's say you're working on a painting and you feel like you're really at that peak fruition moment, and all you have to do then afterwards is clean it up and touch it up, so you're at this peak moment. Or if you are trying to sell your house, or you are looking for a new apartment to move into, to rent, about to buy a vehicle, or any area of your life that is in a cycle, a process, and you are looking to feel more centered and grounded in that process, or especially if you have a decision to make. So you can use that as a cycle and relate it to the phases of the moon cycle, and say, okay, well, I am right now really enjoying this absolute new beginning. I have moved into my home and I'm getting everything set up and it's feeling really good. It's starting to feel like it's my space. So things are growing, right? It's not really in a fruition phase yet. You don't feel like you're there. It doesn't, it's just beginning to feel like yours, but you're no longer in the just birth. You've been there for a little while. Boxes are getting unpacked. You might want to choose this phase, and you just want to pick up your drum. So it's hanging on the wall, it's calling to you, hey, I want you to play me, please come and play me. And you say, okay, sure, I have a minute and I'm feeling really good and I just want to pick up my drum and play. Oh, and my fingers just missed the drum. It's really late at night. Pour that sentiment of your feeling into the drum. Or if you have a question, gosh, when am I going to find that perfect house? When am I going to find that relationship that I'm looking for? And then you can pour those questions into your drumming and just seek out what the answer might be in your own personal space as you're drumming it. And as drumming is alchemizing that those energies, then the feeling can just kind of sink in to you as it's sinking into the drum and it's going out. And meanwhile, your nervous system is relaxing, your endorphins are rising, and as you calm your mind through that process, that allows those answers to possibly bubble up, as it does in meditation. So you can use your drumming practice to tap in to your inner self, even if it's just for a few minutes. And it may not come to you right away, but after you've returned the drum to where it was, and then you go about your day, go back to your painting, or you go back to work, or you go into the kitchen to make a meal, then you never know, in the shower, then the energizing and relaxing qualities of drumming don't take long to work its magic right in here, yeah? And then allow those sensations and those visions, those dreams, those thoughts, those answers to arrive. I hope this was helpful. Remember that no matter what is going on in our lives or in the world around us, it's not something to feel guilty about or feel selfish, that we have the ability in our lives to work and to play and to love and to be in nature and to connect with others. And we are really doing our part on the planet when we do our inner work, so that then we can share our gifts, so that we can be there for someone else, so that we can inspire others and bring hope and peace to the world. So rather than tuning into what other people might be judging us for, how can you possibly do that right now with so much going on? Aren't you paying attention to the world? You're being an ostrich with your head in the sand. No, I'm not. I know what's going on. I am fully aware. And I also know that I have a lot of love to share, that I can help to bring hope and inspiration to someone else. And if I do that one thing, if I save that one starfish and toss it back into the sea, it makes a difference to that one starfish. And if we are here on this planet to do anything, that is to help one another. And what better way than through our drumming for ourselves, and gosh, the healing that can take place. So, happy new moon. Or whenever you're watching this, maybe you're watching this on the full moon or any phase. The moon is always changing. The moon is always there. She's a part of us, always reflecting our light. She is witnessing us and reflecting our light. Allow that light to shine down on you and fill your heart and flow from your heart into your hands and into your drum. In the words of Layne, I hope you're drumming. Love you all. Bye for now.